Good morning, students. In the previous session we discussed about the limitations of Ohm's law, right, and the mobility. Now we will discuss about resistivity. So what is resistivity? I have already discussed what is the meaning of resistivity. Resistivity is a characteristic constant for a material. It differs from material to material, right? And resistivity does not depend on any length, breadth, area of cross section or dimensions. Resistivity is constant, right? What are the factors on which resistivity depends? That we will see little later. That is, we are going to see temperature dependence of resistivity. Resistivity of the materials vary as temperature changes. That we are going to see. First, how is resistivity a deciding factor for classifying the materials into conductors, semiconductors and insulators. So, look at this resistivity of materials. I have just written the values of resistivity of materials: silver, copper, aluminum, tungsten, iron, platinum, mercury, nichrome, manganese. If you look at all these are all metals. These are all metals. So, metals are all good conductors of electricity. Metals are all good conductors of electricity. So, since they are good conductors, so resistivity value is very low. Resistivity value of these conductors will be of the order of 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter to about 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. The range of resistivity for all these conductors, if you see, it is ranging from 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter to about 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. This is the range of resistivity for the conductors. Out of this, few materials, look at this: nichrome, manganese and one more, constantan. One more is there, constantan. These materials are specially prepared alloys. These materials are specially prepared alloys: nichrome, manganese, constantan. Nichrome is an alloy made up of nickel, chromium and iron, and manganese is an alloy made up of manganese, copper and iron, right? Similarly, constantan is also another alloy. So, these alloys are specially prepared to have little high values of resistivity. So, when you look at all these good conductors, copper, silver, aluminum, tungsten, they are all of the order of 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Whereas, look at this: nichrome, manganese, constantan, they are of the order of 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. They are of the order of 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. So, their resistivity is little higher. So, such materials, nichrome, manganese and constantan, such materials are used in standard resistors. They are used in manufacturing standard resistors which are used in the laboratory. And nichrome, as you know, is used as a heating element in the electric oven. Nichrome is also used as heating element in the electric oven, heating element in the immersion rod in the electric geyser. The heating element that is used, you might have seen that spiral coil. That spiral coil is made up of nichrome, right? Nickel, chromium, iron, alloy. These are the three alloys which are having little higher value of resistivity. Then, when you look at the insulators, the resistivity is here of the order of 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter to 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. Here the resistivity is from the order of 10 raised to 5 onwards. to about 10 raised to 16 ohm meter. So, if the resistivity is of very high order, of the order of 10 raised to 5 ohm meter to 10 raised to 16 ohm meter, such class of materials are called as insulators. Means based on the resistivity values, the materials are classified as conductors, insulators and semiconductors. You look at this pure water, distilled water is a insulator whose resistivity is 2.5 into 10 raised to 5 ohm meter. Fused quartz is of the order of 10 raised to 16 ohm meter. Sodium chloride is of the order of 10 raised to 14 ohm meter. Hard rubber insulator 10 raised to 13 to 10 raised to 16 ohm meter. Glass 10 raised to 10 to 10 raised to 14 ohm meter. So, it is of the order of 10 raised to 5 ohm meter to 10 raised to 16 ohm meter. So, this is the range of resistivity for insulators. And you see the class of materials which are neither conductors nor insulators. The class of materials which lie in between insulators and conductors are called as semiconductors. The semiconductors, you see, we have just listed germanium, silicon and one more carbon. You see, if you look at this, so the value of resistivity ranges from 10 raised to 5 minus 5 ohm meter, 10 raised to minus 5 ohm meter to 10 raised to 4 ohm meter, 10 raised to, you can see, yes, 10 raised to 4 ohm meter. This is the range of resistivity, and such class of materials are called as the semiconductors, right. These semiconductors are having very interesting properties. You see, metals are all very good conductors. As temperature increases, the resistivity of metals increases. As temperature increases, resistivity of metals increases. Whereas semiconductors, as temperature increases, the resistivity of materials decreases. This is the special property which had made use these semiconductors in the electronic devices. So, you are going to learn the electronic devices like diodes, transistors, okay, and solar cells. These are all electronic devices which find a lot of applications in the electronic circuits. So, in the electronic circuitry, you will find the application of semiconductors to the fullest extent. The reason is, as temperature increases, their resistivity decreases. Why is it so, that we are going to discuss? Whereas in the case of metals like silver, copper, aluminum, iron and all, as temperature increases, resistivity increases. As temperature increases, resistivity increases. Therefore, this is the reason. Here it is a decrease of resistivity, here it is increase of resistivity. It means at lower temperatures, the semiconductors behave as insulators. At low temperatures, semiconductors behave as insulators. At 0 degree Celsius and lesser than 0 degree Celsius, negative temperature, the semiconductors are perfect insulators. As you increase the temperature to room temperature, 20 degree Celsius, 25 degree Celsius, they will be behaving like a perfect conductor. So, as temperature increases, resistivity decreases and the semiconductors behave like perfect conductors at room temperatures and higher temperatures. That is the special property of these semiconductors which find immense applications in the field of electronics circuitry, okay, in the field of electronic devices. Now, the insulators, as we have listed here, their resistivity is very, very high. Okay. Now, with this, now we are going to discuss very important thing, that is, yes, about the nichrome, manganese and constantan. As I have told you, nichrome, manganese and constantan are specially prepared alloys which find applications in nichrome, manganese, yes, these find applications in wire bound resistors, and nichrome is also used in heating element. It is used as a heating element, right. So, the special property is because of their very less response, yes, to the rise in temperature. Their very less response to the rise in temperature. It means as temperature rises, the resistivity of these nichrome, manganese and another one constantan, these resistivity values hardly change. They remain almost constant and their temperature coefficient of resistivity is higher. That is what we are going to see. Temperature coefficient of resistivity of these three, manganese, constantan and nichrome, is higher. Therefore, they find applications in the yes, they find applications in the manufacture of wire bound resistors which are used in the laboratory and the heating elements. Now, carbon, you see, carbon can have high value of resistance. So, the carbon is also being used in preparing very high value of resistors, color coded resistors. So, carbon color coded resistors, carbon color coded resistors are prepared which will be having a resistance of the order of few fractions to the resistance of the order of few kilo ohms, from few fraction of ohm to about few kilo ohms of resistance can be prepared out of carbon. So, they are called as color coded resistors, carbon color coded resistors. Now, next we are going to learn temperature dependence of resistivity. Temperature dependence of resistivity. Okay, let us learn a very important thing, that is temperature dependence of resistivity. You see, the resistivity of materials depend on the temperature. The resistivity of materials depends on the temperature. Different metals will have different behavior with the temperature. All the metals will not have, all the materials will not have same behavior with respect to rise in temperature or decrease in temperature. Different materials have different behavior with the temperature. Whereas, when you look at the conductors, over a long range of temperatures, for ordinary temperatures, over a long range of ordinary temperatures, the resistivity does not change. Resistivity of conductors is almost constant. Resistivity of the conductors is almost constant for a particular range of temperature, lower values of temperatures. But as temperature increases to the higher and higher value, then the resistivity of the conductors increases. So, I will draw the graph. If you draw the graph, then you will come to know resistivity of copper with respect to function of time. Copper 50, 100, 150 Kelvin. And you see the resistivity changes to this particular value. So this is the behavior of copper. As temperature changes, the resistivity changes. This is the resistivity in order of 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. This is of copper. It means as you increase the temperature from 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 150 Kelvin. So this is temperature in Kelvin. You see there is an increase in resistivity which will be not so high, from almost 0 value to about 0.4, 0.2 to 0.4 there is little increase. From 150 to 100 to 150 almost it is a linear increase, but from 0 to 100 it is very low increase. So over a particular range of temperatures, the change in resistivity is not so very high, but for a long range of temperatures, at higher and higher values of temperatures, the resistivity changes markedly. The resistivity changes rapidly. So this is for good metals like copper. If it is a metal like nichrome, the change of resistivity for nichrome is very low. This is for higher and higher value of temperatures, it is noted in the order of kelvins, 200, 400, 600, 800. So 200, 400, 200, 400, 600, 800, 1000 Kelvin. This is temperature in Kelvin. So if you draw the graph comes out to be almost a increasing straight line graph. But when you look at the actual values, the values of resistivity of these are very low. 1.0 to 1.1 to 1.2, only that much, of the order of 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm centimeter. So ohm centimeter it is. So the change in the resistivity of the alloys like nichrome. So nichrome is an alloy. The change in resistivity is very low. Therefore, materials like nichrome find applications in the heating element and standard resistors. So that their resistors values, the value of resistance do not change even when temperature changes. Although it looks like a straight line increasing graph, but you see the change in value of resistivity is very low. That's why these are specially prepared alloys like nichrome, constantan and manganese. They are specially prepared alloys which find applications in the manufacture of standard resistors, wire bound coil resistors and heating elements. Okay. Now in general, now we can write the temperature dependence of resistivity for conductors first, then we shall discuss about semiconductors. So from the example of copper and nichrome, we have seen that as temperature increases, the resistivity for the conductors increases over a long range of temperatures, when the temperatures are increasing to a higher and higher values. When the temperatures are of short range, increase in the resistivity is very less. Okay. Now it is found that if rho T is the resistivity at high temperature T and rho 0 is resistivity at low temperatures, let us say 0 degrees Celsius, like T naught or low temperature 0 degrees Celsius. Then experimentally it is found it is found that the change in resistivity per unit resistivity, change in resistivity rho t minus rho 0 per unit resistivity. So, if you take this ratio, it gives you change in resistivity per unit resistivity. It is found to be directly proportional to the change in temperature T minus T naught. Change in resistivity per unit resistivity is directly proportional to change in temperature, which you can also write it as delta T, right. So, this is also called as fractional change in resistivity, fractional change in resistivity. So, fractional change in resistivity is found to be directly proportional to change in temperature, change in temperature, right. Now, if you take out this proportionality sign, then proportionality sign if you take out, then you will have to substitute one proportionality constant. Rho t minus rho 0 divided by rho 0 is equal to alpha times T minus T naught, where T minus T naught is the change in temperature delta T. Rho t minus rho 0 divided by rho naught gives you this value, where alpha is the constant of proportionality, and this constant of proportionality is called coefficient, temperature coefficient of resistivity, temperature coefficient of resistivity. Alpha is called temperature coefficient of resistivity. So, this temperature coefficient of resistivity is now defined as alpha equal to rho t minus rho 0 divided by rho 0 into bracket t minus t naught, where t minus t naught is nothing but delta t. Rho t minus rho 0 divided by rho naught into delta t. So, that is how we define temperature coefficient of resistivity. Temperature coefficient of resistivity is defined as fractional, you can see here, fractional change in resistivity, fractional change in resistivity that is change in resistivity per unit rise in temperature, per unit rise in or per unit change in temperature, per unit change in temperature. This is called as rise may be increase or it may be even decrease. Therefore, we can, instead of writing rise, we can also write change in temperature. So, this is called as temperature coefficient of resistivity. Temperature coefficient of resistivity. Okay, temperature coefficient of resistivity for metals is positive. So, alpha for conductors or metals is positive. Therefore, as temperature increases, the resistivity of the conductors increases, whereas alpha for semiconductors is negative. So, this implies as temperature increases, the resistivity of semiconductors decreases, whereas in case of metals or conductors, as temperature increases, since alpha is being positive, you see if alpha is positive, as temperature increases, the resistivity increases. So, that is the difference between conductors and semiconductors, right. Now, the reason for this can be understood with the help of the main equation for resistivity. Why is that difference between the behavior of semiconductors and conductors? Behavior of difference in the behavior of conductors and semiconductors with respect to temperature. The main equation for resistivity that we have found out earlier, resistivity rho is equal to m upon n e square tau, where m is the mass of the charged particle which carries the current and n is the number density of the charged particle. In case of conductors, the number density of charged particles is nothing but number density of electrons. Number of electrons per unit volume. E is the charge and tau is the relaxation time or average time of collision. See, from this it is quite evident that for conductors what happens? For conductors, see, we are now discussing very important thing. Why is that difference between behavior of conductors and semiconductors as far as change in temperature is concerned? As temperature increases, the resistivity of conductors increases, whereas as temperature decreases, the resistivity of semiconductors decreases. Exact reverse. That is understood using this equation. For conductors, you see, rho, when mass of the charged particle is constant, charge of the particle is constant, number density of the electrons in the conductor doesn't change much. As far as a conductor is concerned, number density of electrons almost it is very high itself. Number density of free electrons is already very high. There is no much change in n. Only change that takes place is tau. So, rho is inversely proportional to tau. So, what happens as temperature increases? For conductors, as temperature increases, average collision time tau decreases. Tau, average collision time, decreases. So, average collision time decreases means the number of collisions that are occurring per second goes on increasing. The frequency of collisions goes on increasing. So, as a result what happens? If more and more collisions occur, then collision time, that is time taken between two successive collisions, decreases. The mean free path also decreases. So, when the number of collisions increase, naturally what happens? Resistivity increases. That is how as temperature increases, tau, collision time decreases and resistivity increases. Thus, resistivity increases. So, this is how we find the reason for the conductors. For semiconductors, what happens? For semiconductors, it is very interesting. Although the tau may decrease, but more than this, the number density of available charge carriers increases. For semiconductors, as temperature increases, you can see here number density of charge carriers, in case of semiconductors, the charge carriers are electrons as well as holes. Number density of electrons and holes, positively charged holes, increases. Yes, this is the marked difference. This increase in n, will be more than compensating decrease in tau. This increase in n will be more than decrease in more than compensating decrease in tau. So although tau is decreasing, no doubt, but the number of density of electrons and holes that are available increases drastically. As it increases drastically, what happens to resistivity? Thus, since rho is inversely proportional to n, therefore, as rho is inversely proportional to n, the resistivity decreases. Resistivity decreases as n increases. So this is a very important thing that you should remember. You will get this question in the theory exam, you will get this question in the multiple choice questions also, you may get this question even in the practicals, viva, because you are going to do number of experiments on semiconductors as well as number of activities using the semiconductors. So there you should know the difference between conductors and semiconductors. Because of this fact, as temperature increases, resistivity decreases, the semiconductors find applications in the electronic devices. They find applications in the electronic circuits and in the preparation of electronic devices. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.